Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Market Movers, where we look at hot spots in the markets for today. We do some live analysis for Dave Trading. I am Todd Rich with Nadex. With me from Keep Trading Simple, Brian Caprice. What is today? Today is Tuesday, October 19th. Oh, so we got the full blown session today too. So we'll keep it tight this morning, and then have everyone come back, and we can take a peek at what's going on midday. Before Brian and I jump into it, I do need to share this disclaimer that trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone, that any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. And this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. We are doing this for your education purposes. So what are we looking at this morning? What are our hot spots in the markets for today? And I am going to jump over here. This is one of them. We are going to take a look at silver. Silver has it's up almost 90 cents. It looks like it's pulled back just a little bit off of its highs this morning. But up, silver absolutely taken off. You can see it's blown through almost all the short-term, short duration binary options. If I actually jump this over to a 1 hour chart and kind of pull back, we look at silver from a longer term perspective. Longer term meaning last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, silver did sell off. It is now retracing. We're watching the fib levels have been really important. I'll let Brian kind of go through these when we take a look at it, but you can see how each of these fib levels have been significant. We have just hit the 76 fib level and pausing temporarily. Question is does silver roll over here? We'll have to keep an eye on it, and if it breaks through, could it make it all the way back up close to that $25 an ounce? So anyhow, silver, one place we're looking at. The other thing we're looking at, interestingly enough, because gold is not making that kind of a move, so we're not going to really be taking a look at gold. Gold's up, but not nearly as much. We got crude oil moving around, but what really has been hot this morning, natural gas. Natural gas is continuing its climb lower. Let me drop that down to 15 minutes real quickly. Yeah, you could really see. I mean, it dropped through $5 per million BTUs. So nat gas dropping. What else are we seeing? We're seeing the pound. We're seeing pound strength, although it's starting to roll a little bit right now. So we're going to take a look at the pound, and then we'll take a quick peek look at equities. And mostly because, I know everyone's got their perspective on the economy and what's going to happen and how the recovery from the pandemic, and they could talk all they want, but in the end, we are right at the beginning of earnings season. There was another release of a bunch of earnings, and the bottom line is corporations are beating expectations. They are making money. Equity markets are looking in the green again. I think that would be 5 days in a row. So that's what we're going to look at. We're looking silver up, nat gas down, pound strength, and U.S. equities all looking to open all the indices looking to open in the green. So Brian, I'm going to flip it over to you, and then I'm going to grab the link for the noon session so that everyone can join that, because we'll do this today, and then we got in a few hours you'll do the full blown session.
Yeah, I mean, in the overnight right now, at least on the global front right now, the pound is the biggest mover. We mentioned yesterday how they've already kind of laid out what the interest rate environment is going to look like in the races. They're being very transparent about it. The market really liked that transparency, and there was some other comments earlier about how there's still slack in Europe, and again, just I don't want to say wish-washy, but again, with the dollar kind of finally turning over and rolling, again, the UK is kind of set to kind of thrive in this environment. But again, a lot of it is highlighted. It is a combination of pound strength / dollar weakness. Now, is it extreme dollar weakness? I mean, dollar yen is down -2. Again, I told you guys yesterday that it's just one of these pairs that I just really haven't been into. It's just been a slow grind. Dollar Swiss 43, dollar CAD 40. Aussie dollar 75 is quite a large movement. But again, we had that Australian news last night that we talked about. Today is a day really just of speeches. And a little while ago when Todd and I first got on, This was up 110 in the last 24 hours. So you see it's starting to pull back. And again, makes sense. Profit taking during the European session, rolling into the US session. So you'd expect to kind of see those things right now. Besides that, I mean, Todd mentioned the biggest aspects of it. I mean, as far as what the pound, where it's going, what we can trade with it today. Pound dollar, you can see is it punched above a level that we're looking at, but is fast starting to kind of approach back down, to the downside. I would say that the pound dollar, although I'm probably a bit more bearish on that one, I think the pound yen actually provides the greatest opportunity. You can see down here, we had a Harry Potter set up. We did not get entry, which is fine. It's one of these trades, if this, then that. It's not there yet. Huge spike up. Since the European session opened today, it's traveled about 115 pips. Again, is that within an ATR, a daily ATR? Yeah, absolutely. Again, very, very strong push up. And again, the comments were more yesterday afternoon. So again, this was the US or the UK trader, kind of adapting to it. What's interesting about this is we came right up, and you can see, and I'll put a line there just so everybody can see it. This line right here is 158 flat. Okay, the last time that we were up at this price value in the pound yen was June 20th. I think is what I just looked back to, 2016. So it's been a very, very, it's crazy, right? 5 years since the price has been this
over
high.
5 years.
Yeah, and with this big of a spike, I would say look for a reversal. Again, it's not that the pound is suddenly getting weak. It's just that there's going to be profit taking. All these people that have made money on the top side now are going to have to sell it, right? And as more sellers come in, again, capturing profit, it's not selling with a loss, it's selling with a gain. But you will see it probably pull back a little bit. And actually, the euro pound right now is kind of already bouncing off of a level we saw yesterday. And again, European session, I think we highlighted this with you guys. Again, we drew a fib curve on it. We had a zone down here at 84.28. Came back up and was really flirting around between the 61.8 and the 50, kind of bouncing back and forth again. Most of the hits, though, were outside of UK session hours. They were yesterday afternoon. This was at 12 o'clock. Again, not a big time. This one was at, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This was at midnight our time. So again, still not in their trading session. It would be the equivalent of their 5:30 in the morning. So again, not really a big time. Then we put this little kind of confirmation pattern in and touched it at 3 a.m. right when their market opened. And you can see nothing but straight down in here, pound strength like we've seen in the pound dollar and pound US. Where we are now, you're actually seeing it come off that level. So again, is there buying opportunity in here? I'd say probably. And again, it matches up on all three pairs. So if you're more into the currency side of things, I would say look for pound strength or pound weakness today. It's been so strong all morning. The dollar's been beaten up. Expect that reversal today coming into the U.S. session as the U.S. trader steps in and says, wait, you're beating the dollar down? All right, we need to have a little bit of a reversal today. So I'd watch out on that one. I don't know if you have any contracts you wanted to show on those, Todd. If not, I can just jump into.
I think that was, and that's some great analysis. The pound, again, pound strength, you're going to see people taking some profit taking. And then you're going to see the U.S. trader and give the dollar some strength. Right. So,
and again, that dollar strength,
short-term trading opportunity
goes down. Yeah, it'll carry over into the other two. Is typically how it works.
And I would also say take a look at those short duration binary options. Great place to probably play that. Let's take a look at silver. I mean, because silver, I mean, I've got the silver. I mean, it is
totally underperforming right now. It still has $75 to go in 2 months and 10 days.
They're calling for 100.
Wall Street Bet said by the end of the year it would be $100. It's got to go, guys. I mean, no predictions, but that's what they said: $100 by the end of the year. The takedown Wall Street. They're going to take down Wall Street with silver. Yeah,
right.
But it's
in the short duration. 25 is it's a target.
I mean, we're at $24 now. I mean, you can see that the 25 mark is really all the way back up here, and that's a large. I mean, you can see that we got areas of sellers up above at 25 and 26 up top. We're at 24. I mean, it's already moved about 80 cents today. Could it jump another $1? It could, but I mean, you would really need something to really kind of get behind this. And again, it's already moved up. I mean, here, let's see. European session stepped in right here. So a lot of this started yesterday, kind of last night at that about 6, 7 o'clock yesterday. So a lot of the move was in kind of off hours. When you look at those moves and you're like, all right, was there a lot of volume there? Not really. Was the price easy to move? Yeah. The big question will be is now that it's up this far, it's up 3.5%. Are people going to look at this and say, yeah, I made a lot of money off this one, but I need to start selling it? Because there will be people seeing this up 3.5% right now and saying, silver's going. I got to buy now, right? And the worst thing you can do is buy after a really, really big run in price. For the example, I mean, it's moved 82 cents, and let's see the daily ATR on this one. Let me see indicators. Where we at? Average to range. The daily ATR is 57 cents. So the average daily move is 57 cents. And just in the last really 12 hours, 20 hours, we've moved almost 1.5 times.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it does all come back to statistics. Is there a chance that it could go higher today? Sure, absolutely. There's always a chance that it can. And again, people will start seeing this and be like, I got to buy silver. It'll go up 10% today. How often does it do that? Is there a slight chance? Yes. Is that stacking the odds in your favor? No. So if anything, I would be looking at this right now and saying, well, wait a second. The last time the price got over here, and I'm on a 3-hour chart. It just happened to bounce. I must have missed the other one on that one. But you can see the last time the price has kind of peaked here around 24, it got turned back down and then turned back down. And there was another little basing level right above at 2409.
Right.
So again, we're kind of right in that same area, 24 to 2409-ish level. Again, session opening, large move in price, really in the last, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours. I'd say, I mean, at this point, you got to kind of look to see, hey, listen, is there going to a reversal somewhere coming in here?
Roll? So
yeah,
I actually, and remember, and I kind of put this up front real quickly. We actually have that 76 fib level. It's 2410. So I mean, this is when all these sort of different indicators come together. Is this going to be that resistance level? And it has in the past. It's that 24 level. Could it push a little bit higher? I would, yeah. But again, you're right. I think we look for some consolidation and watch for a rollover here. Or you get all sorts of enthusiasm and look for that Harry Potter trade. If they really want to push this thing all the way back up to 25, which it was there at the beginning of. Where was this? This was the beginning of September. So
yeah.
Can we complete that retracement?
August 5th. August 5th was the last time we were at 25.
So okay.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, I mean, it's got a lot. It's got a lot to chunk through. I mean, and you can see some of these. I mean, there are some absolutely enormous candles in here. I mean, these are big news-based readings. I mean, this was an 80-cent move in 2 hours. So, does it have the power? Like, is the potential there? Could it do it? Sure, it could. But the question is, do you want to risk your trading capital on something that is such a slight chance of, again, they're talking about, it's like that baseball analogy. You're not going for a grand slam every single time. It's single, double, single. Yeah, it's all about that. So, I would say, am I saying that this is the absolute top to it? No. Could it be? I mean, if you look at the past, yes, it is probably approaching an area where, again, we're seeing a bit of a rollover, both levels at 24, 2409, and 2423. But could it go higher? It's a market. Sure.
All right. Let's just take a quick peek. If you want to punch over to nat gas quickly, and I don't know if you want to look at equities yet. I know we're all looking to open the positive, but I want to encourage everybody, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat again to come in 3 hours when you do the full blown session.
Yeah, I mean, we can end on equities. I'll cover this real fast, then we can end on equities. With price right now, again, this is another one of those things. There was no reason for it to be inflated. We talked about kind of a Harry Potter running over the gap yesterday. Let me drop it back down to 30-minute. We talked about this pattern yesterday, kind of really coming back and a pushing away. And there wasn't really a lot of areas below that we were really, really excited about. There is one level down here at $4.76. It's about, 12 cents off from where we are right now. It's hit that level twice, and again, we've already had one successful trade come out the top side of it. Could we take it for another shot? Maybe, but again, remember, every time it hits a level of buyers, it eats up more of those buyers and becomes less of a probability-based trade. The last time it did drive about 60% of the way through the zone, showing that it's gotten very, very small. Is it the best opportunity? Not really. If it was an inventory day, maybe worth taking that shot because, again, if we see it in the overnight push all the way down, that's kind of setting up for an inventory of surprise, kind of like they knew, right? And then to shoot it higher. But today's not an inventory day. That's on Thursday. So it's not quite set up for that. So, I would say right now the two levels that I'd be looking for, basing and maybe potential pops would be $4.76. But then $4.62 is an area that we have marked on a higher time frame that would be interested in, looking for long opportunities at. So we got a little room to run. And again, let me bring this over so you can kind of see where we're at right now. We're sitting right here, right? So we got a little tiny level to go, and again, about 12 cents for that one. But it's really this bottom level that we're really looking for, because this would be hit number 3 on this first. So kind of the same thinking. Would expect that, because it is mostly a European-based move at this point. Here's the 3
Yep.
o'clock window. You can see that we're kind of pulling back up to where we closed yesterday. We closed here, right? We pulled back up again. The Europeans took it in and did nothing but drive it straight down. Now the U.S. trader is going to step in. Remember, natural gas is predominantly a U.S.-based energy source. Do we want it cheaper or do we want it higher? I would assume that they
Going
probably
into
got us.
winter, yeah, I want to start
Yeah,
storing
I
it
mean
now.
it is 48 degrees here right now, so it's kind of it's 48 degrees. Last week it was 70, and this thing was up 3% of the day.
You
Now it's
remember the
50
Farmer's
degrees and it's down
Almanac?
to yeah. Now it's down 1.8% today, and it's 48 degrees outside. So
Right, and we do have. Again, I want to remind everyone we've got the full blown session in 3 hours.
mhm.
Equities are looking to open in the green. Earnings are
Yep.
looking really good. Is there anything that I don't know? Do you want to just wait and cover those after the open?
Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, right now, currently, the VIX is down. You can see that it's holding in the overnight. It's not really doing anything crazy. Remember, VIX down, always great for the equities. There's no real news releases today that we don't need to worry about. 1:15 Bowman speaking. By that time, the market will already have decided where it's going to go for the day. The way to play it, and literally, I mean, yesterday, I think 3 out of the 4 pairs did it yesterday. Drop it to the 15 minutes. Look for the levels of supply and demand that it pulls back into right at the open. And yesterday, there was, I think it was 3 out of 4 opportunities yesterday. 1 to 3 presented itself on a 15-minute chart right at the open. And again, all on short duration binary contracts. So don't
Yep.
forget to check those out in 29 minutes.
Yep. All right. So, oh, by the way, I just want to mention tomorrow we are going to have quite a bit to talk about tomorrow morning. I'll drop here. Let me drop this link in here quickly. This is for tomorrow. We do have a lot of. I mean, inflation is really what everyone's tracking. Inflation and unemployment numbers, because
Mm.
it's going to impact how the the central banks globally react to the recovery. We do have the UK coming out with their core inflation numbers at 2 in the morning, the Euro area at 5 in the morning, Canada right before we go on 8:30 in the morning. So tomorrow we're going to have a lot to talk about because we'll have all that information plus the crude oil inventory levels. So
Mhm.
definitely tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. And again, Brian will be doing that full blown uh, webinar today in 3 hours. With that, any questions for Nadex, please email us customerservice@nadex.com. Any questions for Brian, you can get him at support@keeptradingsimple.com. A quick recap of what we talked about today. Silver making a big move higher, gold not going with it. Interesting levels there in silver. Keep an eye out on that. That's a hot spot to be looking at. We have seen nat gas sell off this morning, and down below 5. We haven't seen that in a while. Uh, Kind of crazy wild ride that nat gas has been on.
Mhm.
Also a volatile area in the market. Looking at that pound strength and looking for potential rollovers here, some profit taking, at least this
Mhm.
morning. And lastly, equities all looking to open the green. Let's see what the retail trader thinks when they come in 27 minutes. Again, join us back in 3 hours. And if we miss you there, we will catch you tomorrow morning. With that, thanks for joining and good luck in the markets, everyone.